Hey, fellow slinging agents in the wild, welcome back to another installment of Lot 27. That's right, it's your trusted handler, Brian, welcoming you once again to the Digital Rage Room. However, unlike last week, this time around, we got some shout-outs. Thank God, right? Over on our Instagram, I want to welcome FL Social Worker, as well as Rick the GM. Welcome, fellow agents. And we've got some shout-outs over on our YouTube channel. Henry Anderson thanking us once again. No, Henry, thank you for being a faithful listener. I appreciate it. I know the rest of the hard slingers of yore appreciate it too. Also, James Wachter commented that although he's had one of the shittiest weeks, he knows he's got the show in a bottle waiting for him at the end of the shift. Or during his shift. I'll have to reread that again. I'm sorry, James. If it's during the shift, then just go ahead and enjoy both of them, will ya? And finally, Balent Babos, my man, who states flat out that this is by far his favorite of our campaigns and by far the one in which I seem to be making the most mechanical mistakes. Well, brother, stay tuned for collateral damage as we're changing up a few of the mechanics that should help illuminate our agents' paths. Remember, if you want me to give you a shout out, then please subscribe over at our YouTube channel at Roll the Hard 20. Follow us on any one of our social platforms. We're out there on all of them. Leave me a comment and I'll be sure to respond to them. And don't be afraid to write into the show at rollthehard20podcast@gmail.com. I reply to all comments and all emails, so don't be shy. Let's hear it. Now, let's warm up our dice and top off our glasses. Roll the Hard 20 podcast presents episode 6 of our Delta Green homebrew scenario, Lot 27. I guess I don't need any apple juice to light me off. No, I got to stay a little frosty because it's just me and the girl. So, how was everyone's evening?
That was good. Yeah. I'm anxious about tomorrow. Not looking forward to it at all.
You'll be great. What's the worst that could happen? He goes to jail. Firing squad.
Yeah, there we go. They put him to death. Oh, well, there we go.
See,
nothing like a little bit of steaks.
I love steaks.
Yeah.
Medium rare. That's how I like my clients.
I have to make sure you cut this, Ryder, because if something goes bad with Tony's case, then they can listen to this back and say, yeah, he wasn't taking it serious. He was even talking about it. So,
oh, great.
Start over.
All right. Hi, everybody. How you doing? We're starting over because of my colorful commentary.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Right on, right on. We ready
How's
to
my
rock
brother's
this
been
thing?
doing? How's your experience so far with lot number 27 as we start rounding into home base at this point?
All right. Well,
I'm enjoying it.
Yeah. I'm sorry. We're always like worried not to talk over each other. So we're both like, no, it's been pretty fast and lots of, what I like about it is that we're able to really move through this. And I like playing these back-to-back ones. Today's, the weird one where we had a day in between. But the most difficult part I found was just when we got surprised by the little old lady and we're both like we just didn't know what to do.
And I think I mentioned when we were off air that I actually thought that segment was going to go fairly quick. I thought it was pretty cut and dry when I put it together in my mind, but I think I've said it multiple times that whenever I'm playing with you two, not the group, but you two individuals, you guys have a tendency to take it off the rails and really express my glands, for a lack of a better terminology, to really work my handler's chops. So
Your handler's chops. I guess the gland is in the middle of the chops, or well, the thing is the little old lady came out. She wasn't threatening. I'm thinking, do we gotta grease this thing? This woman, is this a loose end? She knows about the box and this and that, and so yeah, I'm still not sure where she ends up. If she's someone that's going to get cleaned up at the end or what.
Well, let's lead ourselves in here. Let me lead us in, and we'll discover this for ourselves at the same time. Greetings.
Sorry, I always do that, brother.
Greetings, fellow slingers. Welcome back to Roll the Hard 20 podcast. It is I, your trusted handler, Brian, and with me, my hard slingers of yore.
Hail.
Yeah.
Episode 6 of our homebrew Delta Green campaign, lot number 27. So, real quick recap. I think we kind of just did a little recap prior to this. You guys have found yourselves at a layover at the Union Station. It's a 4-hour layover, and during that time, it would appear that Deacon Gray and his 3 men took a shuttle van out of the train station and someplace into a suburban area where he went to a house that had been converted into a church. He took the box with him, stayed in there for about an hour, and when they left, you noticed that the box had these weird glyphs and symbols that had been imposed on the box somehow. After they left, Nakamura had followed them back to the train station in the shuttle van that you guys had used to get there. Agent Each and Agent Adesso, you remained behind and started investigating the house, which you found an old lady who introduced herself as Gretna Green, head priestess for the Whisper of Ages sect. She did tell you why Deacon Gray had brought the box there. You listeners need to listen to the previous episode to find that out. Currently, the 2 of you are before this little old lady. She told you that the best way to thwart Deacon Gray is to have this drop of blood that is contained within this artifact consumed by a female. She also told you where they would be going. They're going to go to Colorado to experience a blood lunar eclipse tomorrow evening.
All right.
We are ready. Well, are we done talking to Greta Green, Sammy?
It's Greta Green. Gretna.
Greta Green, gotcha.
Gretna Green. It's a town in
Gretna.
Scotland.
No, it's not.
So out of game. Yeah, I don't have any more questions for her that I know of. I'm concerned about leaving loose ends. But she seemed forthcoming to us and would be the ramblings of a lunatic. She's not trying to help Deacon Gray. She seems to be against him. And she mentioned her having a daughter named Anna who is in there. So I'm wondering if that's our Anna from the Miss Thornhill's retinue, the one who set us up. So I don't know how there's a connection, but there might be there. So we'll have to look into that afterwards. But I think that maybe we give Nakamura a call and maybe have him stay, keep eyes on that, and maybe we can get that shuttle to come back and get us.
Let's do that.
Don't want to get another shuttle guy involved, like if this guy's going to end up getting cleaned, we don't need to clean out a fleet of shuttles.
Well, I think it'll be fine. I don't think we need to clean anybody. No one's seen anything.
Well, we don't think that, but that's entirely out of our hands once we hand in the report and whole families get destroyed and children sent to foster care and the parents get to go to the drunk clank or the clink all because our handler's bloodthirsty.
Well, he has that reputation.
Agent Odysseus, I am all done here. I have no more further questions. I think we should contact our fellow agent and get our ride here. Ma'am, thank you for your help. We will do what we can to stop.
I was able to be of some assistance to the 2 of you.
Much so.
I would greatly appreciate it if you could do something about Deacon Gray.
We'll do our best. And if we ever run into Anna, we'll say hi.
Oh, I'm sure you'll not know who my beautiful Anna I haven't seen her in a very long time.
We haven't either. All right, thank you, ma'am.
Well, please show your way out of the sanctuary. I've got to go freshen up. I need the fresh shave. She leaves you and goes into the back room behind the beaded curtain.
All right, let's get Makamura on the line and have him keep eyes on the box holders and maybe either send a new shuttle or send the one we got back, whatever he thinks is the easiest.
Yep. All right. Odessa will get on the phone and call Nakamura and say, we need a pickup.
Hey, Agent Odysseus. Is that you?
It is. Yes, it's me, Occam, and we need a pickup. We're all done here.
You're still at the same place that you were at when I dropped you off?
That is correct.
Your bodies again. Quiet. Gaijin. Do you need us to come back and get you?
Yes.
You want me to come too, or you want me to stay here?
Stay there, keep an eye on the box. We've confirmed it does contain what we want.
Well, I have already confirmed that they have started to board the California Zephyr number 5. We still have a little bit of time, though, before they depart, so...
We have a feeling they're going to depart, and they're going to get off the train in Denver, Colorado.
Oh, okay. I will go ahead and board the train now and keep an eye on them. I will send a shuttle driver back to pick you up. Is that acceptable?
Yes.
Right. Okay. You go and pick. You want some gum? Yeah, I'll take your gum. You go get my friends. Oh, no, not that piece. Hey! Hangs up the phone.
As soon as Odesso hangs up from Agent Occam, he dials Heisenberg.
Polly.
We've confirmed that the deviation off course from the train to this location in Chicago was indeed a type of authentication. They brought it here to this is a temple of the High Priestess or a church of the High Priestess, whatever it is. Bottom line is, there's an old lady here. She put blessings on it, and in essence, she authenticated the relic, and it is what it is, or what it purports to be. She tells us that it contains a drop of a demon, and if the blood hits the earth, he will be reborn at full strength and bring doom and gloom to the rest of the world. However, the way to kill it is to take the blood out of it and have it consumed by a human woman, that which will kill the demon and, very likely, the woman who consumes the blood. They're going to perform this ceremony tomorrow under a blood moon in Denver, Colorado. Our next stop on the Zephyr is Denver, Colorado, so we should be there in outside a game. How long would it take?
Actually, you'll have a few stops and you won't be there till tomorrow.
Got it. So we have a few stops and then we won't be there until tomorrow. I'll give you the times when I know them myself, but that would be the time to have a reception committee waiting, or at least scope out the area to find out if there's going to be a reception for the team carrying the relic. But it's all going to go down in Denver.
We should also find out if we are to intercept this thing, or are we to keep monitoring the box, let the ceremony happen, and continue on to its final destination in California, or if this is the final destination.
Sounds like Colorado's going to be the final destination, because they're going to perform the ceremony. It would make only sense that that's there.
So who has eyes on the box right now?
Agent Occam has eyes on the box.
And where are you currently?
We're still at the church.
How are you going to get back to the station?
Got a shuttle coming to pick us up.
Okay. Are you going to be able to make it back to the train in time before it departs?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, stay on the box. Ride it out. You're just laughing your little ass off, aren't you?
We will put forth every inch of effort, sir.
Into that box, sir. We'll make sure that there's no bottom of that box that hasn't been excavated. You got my seal of approval. Go ahead and follow it as far as it's going to go. If it does look like they're going to stop in Colorado and do whatever it is they're going to do with this ceremony, as you seem to think it's going to do, you need to stop it before the ceremony begins.
The woman we talked to, high priestess named Gretna Green, she's the high priestess of Whisper of Ages churches. Perhaps there's some more information you can glean by knowing that name. She seems to be against the operations that Deacon Gray is conveying here. She's against that. And a bit more of information that she dropped about a daughter named Anna.
What's her name?
The lady's name is Gretna Green.
Gretna Green. Okay, I'll look into it. I'm kind of concerned, more curious than anything else. Did they mention how the blood was contained in this stone? Is there a vial that's encapsulated within this stone? Is the blood just within the stone itself? Were you able to get any of that information?
We were not able to get that information.
Is it too late?
Might be. We
Okay.
could go back and ask.
Hold on. Hey, Gretna, come here. My boy
Yeah.
has a question.
Jawohl! She starts pulling her pants back up after her shave. What's the problem?
Well, I can also. So, before we depart Miss Green's place, is she to be considered a loose end?
Do you think she's a security risk, or that she's will be a thwart to the mission?
If anything, I think she wants to help us because she gave the whole ghost story, and we weren't even pressing her on that. So I think that at this moment, anyone talking to her about this would think it's the ravings of a crazy old lunatic lady who believes in some mysterious cult church. So I don't think she's a threat, but there's been many times where I haven't thought there was a threat, and we read in the paper accidents have happened.
Well, I mean, old people have a tendency to die. They slip in the tub and die of poison. The whole
bullet
thing
to the
is, yeah, bullet to the head. You know, we don't have unlimited resources when it comes to sending a team out for cleanup. If you don't think it's an immediate threat to the mission, I'm going to let this one ride. We'll keep her name in the loop, and I'll see if there's anything else I can derive from her based on that. I wouldn't worry too much about it right now. Just get yourselves back to Union Station and follow the box.
All right, we're on it.
Out.
Well, Okami, I think we're ready to roll.
All right, let's go.
Within a few minutes, the shuttle driver pulls up alongside the curb, sees the two of you standing in front of this house/church. He rolls down the window. Hey guys, Joey's back. You ready
Hey,
for
Joey.
another ride?
We're
Yeah,
ready
you
for
have
another
any-
ride, Joey.
You have any gum?
You know, that guy looks like your twin. Took all my gum.
Oh, well.
He's a bastard. Do you have any gum for Joey?
Just the two pieces I didn't accept the last time you offered.
Okay. Can I have one?
Joey, times are the essence, man. Get us back to the station.
Let's go right now. So he starts taking off, basically retracing the path that brought you here. Takes about 17 minutes to get back into Union Station. He deposits you curbside with the rest of the shuttle vans. You guys square up the fare, and you see that the California Zephyr number 5 is boarding at this time.
Okay.
Let's do an alertness check, see if we notice anything unusual.
See if anyone is looking for us again, some oddball conductors.
Yeah, because, I'm going to likely fail it for the 6th time in a row, but I'm going to try anyway. Good God. A 90.
90.
A 90, because, geez, when I fail big.
Kami?
I failed minimally, 55 over 53.
Okay.
Gold doubloon. Fuck yeah. No.
That's a good use of it. Maybe you should strap on the flamethrower and walk counterclockwise around the building a couple times too. So you guys are funneled back into a line that goes through the security metal detectors once again.
All right. I think we do the same thing that we have before, right? That's so you want to lead the way, or perchance do you want to give me your firearms and I will hold on to them until you walk through and we can see if anyone accosts you.
Then I want to be armed.
Well, I got you.
You got an obsidian blade, right?
Yeah,
I got an obsidian blade, but I'm not nearly as good at it with that.
No, you're right. If someone's there, but I just was trying to see if you got through and none of the warning lights would go off or anything like that if someone would try to engage. But we don't want to firefight on the. Let's just go through our standard operating procedure and get through quickly.
Whip out the credentials, push them, show them to the guy. And how do you want me to walk through? Through this room? You want me to go around? You tell me.
We do it before you go through. We show them.
Yeah, as you flip out your credentials and you raise up your D20, go ahead and make me your luck roll, please.
Okay. Oh, 18.
18.
Yeah, the dice giveth, the dice taketh away.
Yeah, you see the security guard looks at it, verifies it's you, waves you through.
Okay, I'll do the same process.
Yes, please.
Okay, do the roll.
The roll.
We doing the roll? Hard 20, baby.
Yeah,
hard
the
20.
dumbest roll in the world. Dumbest
He
roll
buys
in
you
the world.
lunch.
Yeah, he is that a fucking sword on your back? Get this dog to the front of the line, yo.
Check out
Let me
my
get a
blade,
selfie.
dude.
It's John Lowe.
Look, man, I got a spider cool here. I got my Kershaw here, dude.
Hold my grenade. So he waves you through as well, just basically keeping the flow of people going through. You guys find yourselves on the platform of the California Zephyr number 5, and you board. Now, as you board this train, unlike the Lakeshore Limited, this train is a double-decker. It's a big Mambo train. But you see a board. It's a placard right near the entrance with the words that say attention. This train does not have Wi-Fi, and spots along the route are without cell signal.
Sounds great. I will try to make contact with Makamura texting. Are you in the room or do you have eyes on the mark?
You see the 3 dots. It is all, hey! Across the text. I am in the room at this time. Followed the box. They entered their own room as well. I'm even saying the text.
Yeah, the text has an accent. As we proceed to the room, I continue texting. What room number are they? And then I also would like to know what room number we are. I don't know if I have that on my ticket or
room 2.
Oh, it's a different train though.
It is a different train.
Is it?
It
Yeah.
sure is.
It is. Okay.
You are in room 21. It is a roomette as well. Very similar to the Lakeshore Limited, but a little bit more room. He tells you that they had sequestered in room number 7.
Okay, cool. Little map.
You're on the same floor.
Okay.
It's on the 2nd level.
Oh, okay.
So tell me what you agents would like to do.
Let's have a meeting in our room. Confer between ourselves as to whether or not we want to go in and grab the box. because our orders are to follow the box, stop the ceremony. And I'm fairly confident, based upon our intel, this is going down in Colorado. And since we're not clear that Delta Green's going to be there with the reception committee, and we're also not clear of whether or not the bad guys are going to have a reception committee, the best time to take it would be now, so we could get off at another stop and then make away with the box. Odessa says, I think we should discuss whether or not we want to take the box in route. My thought would be that 2 people would leave to eat, and then we could take the 2 that remain, and then when the 2 come back, we could make sure that they don't leave either. And then we'll have the box. We won't have to go to Colorado, and we won't worry about losing it again.
Wasn't it under Heisenberg's wishes that we follow the box to where its end is?
Yeah, but I believe its end is going to be in Colorado. And if our job is to stop the ceremony, well, I think stopping it here would probably be best.
Well, it sounds to me like he wanted to have us follow the box, because there's something there that we need to do as well. Just grabbing the box and running right now would solve part of the issue. But if he's saying to follow it, my money's on we should follow it. There's still something that needs to happen before we jump and, steal the football and go to the other end zone.
All right, that'll work. My concern is how many reinforcements will these guys get? Because if they're going to do a ceremony, that sounds to me to be public. Not to the extent that the public's invited, but it sounds like there's going to be a lot of people there. And it's going to be even more difficult to stop that ceremony. So,
well, we also will have backup there, hopefully, in the form of some Delta Green.
We're hoping. We may not. We know we're going to be outnumbered. We already are. So,
and wasn't part of the mission too to see this to the end, to take out Deacon Gray?
Outside of game, I don't remember that being part of our mission. Did I miss that, Ryder?
I don't think it was part of your mission. I think it was to try to get this item at any cost. You're there to pick up where November Cell left off, they were there to get the item and recover it, either before the auction or after the auction, and to see who the buyers were. Now you know who the buyers are. Whether or not they die, I think that would be an in-field decision. But as long as they stay alive, there's always a chance of them coming back. So it would be prudent to try to take them out. And what better way than to take out the head? Even if it grows another head in a few years, at least you'll take out the threat of what it is today.
So does that also mean then we need to take out the other guy as well? Damian Landon, is he going to be there?
He's supposedly on his yacht.
But that's where we're going to, right?
That's where the train winds up at, is Emeryville.
Yeah. Okay, so it may not even be going there afterwards, or we may not even be going there afterwards. We're ending in Colorado, probably, if that's where the ceremony is going to happen. I mean, they've already made one stop that I thought was odd in the middle of a train ride to somewhere they got off, so they may be getting off in Colorado. Whoop, whoop, let's do the blood ceremony, guys. All right, now let's go hit up the fucking beach, after that. So I don't know how these weirdos go.
Okay.
What do you think, Makamura?
I think we should follow the box. I think we should keep close eye on these secular cultists while they're on the train. Maybe listen to what they have to say, over-listen to them, until we see them getting off the train. I think it's prudent that we don't engage them while on a public transportation. I know that the handler would be very upset to know that we revealed our hand of who we are and who we work for, or call attention to ourselves in public. We would have to clean the whole train. And that is true. That is true, by the way.
Train keeping.
You gotta think about that. The more people that become aware of this, the more questions are raised. The authorities will get wind of it. Then they'll start questioning the people. Then they'll start looking through CCTV videos. And, that security guard waved those guys through, especially the one with the hard 20. he sent him through too. You know, and it's not going to take long, even though you changed your aliases, your faces will still be out there. So
Yeah, that's probably best. All right, so what we'll do is we'll wait.
I think we follow the box to the end. That was what I heard from Heisenberg. If we've heard different, great. But I think the risk of casualties, a risk of showing our hand is too much if we try to storm the gates, though many parts of me want to just do that and get this over with. But that's not the mission from what I remember.
All right, it sounds like it's decided, then we wait. So let's take some rest. So we've got we won't be in Colorado until tomorrow. So I propose we take a couple hours, get some sleep, get a meal, maintain a low profile.
I'll take first watch. The object is in a room down below ours, so we need to have some sort of eyes. Either handler, does the compartment overhead have like a walkway where you can look down and see the comings of goings and of the other floors?
negative.
How do we get access to the second floor then?
There is a stairwell aft that leads you up.
Okay.
You see
so
that?
it's not like jail cells. It's like a normal hotel floor.
Right.
Is that also stairwell there?
Yes, it looks like it is. And there's
Okay.
probably one at the other end of the walkway there as well. And then if you look at the if you look at the other cars, they're set up similar to the Lake Shore Limited, but they're stacked as well. And you'll notice that this particular car has an observation lounge.
Okay. Well, I'll take first watch. I'll be, let's see, at the end of this hallway, there's the stairways that go up. Where is there an exit here and here for the first floor rider?
Yes, that's
Here.
correct.
In here. Okay. So if anything, they'd be looking to go to the probably food car. So if I wait over here like we did last time, kind of in the in between cars area, it's still covered, you said?
Yes, and the dining car has an observation lounge on the second level that allows you to see the sky and whatnot. It's a real big deal when people are traveling via train to go up there and look at the stars at night, look at the moon and all that other stuff, have a drink or something.
Okay. And where is that compared to the room we're at?
That's on the second level as well, but more forward of your car.
Okay. So what I would suggest then is we take watch, two people resting, but one of them be ready to get up. And as soon as I see them going, I'm not going to follow them. I'm going to text either you, Adesso, or you, Makamura, and say it looks like they're heading to the dining car, the observation deck for food. And then one of you can go there so they don't see me and then suddenly see me in the dining car as well. Raise up any of their hackles, you know? So one of us
Makes
can
sense.
stay on rest if they need it. And once we get enough rest, a couple hours each, we can station ourselves at 3 different locations if we need to, I think. What do you guys think?
Hey.
That sounds reasonable.
So the train makes a couple of stops. They're real brief, 5-10 minute stops. Get a couple people on, let a couple people off. Nobody really gets off, those stretch their legs. Then it begins trucking down the track again. At 7 o'clock, it's announced that the diner car is open. You don't see anybody come down that way. But at 9 p.m., you see 2 individuals leave room 6 and start making their way towards the observation lounge.
Didn't Makamura say 7? Do they have 2 rooms?
Mm-hmm. I said
Okay.
7. And now I said 6 also.
Okay, so there are 2 rooms then
Yes.
that we know of. Okay. I will let and they walked into the observation area?
Yes.
Okay. I will am I still on watch at that time or has we switched
You are still on watch at this time.
the night owl? So I will immediately send a text to my fellow agents letting them know that 2 individuals came out of room 6 and in parentheses, not room 7, and have went to the dining car, that means that there are currently still 2, if the numbers add up, in room 7. And in one room, it's empty, potentially.
Why don't we check room 6? We can't with room 7 occupied.
Yeah, we don't know if it's empty. And then what do we do if we check it and they're in there?
We could do the drunk guy again.
They were on the same train where we did that. Might have heard it.
Yeah.
And I don't know about
it's
you.
a possibility that they were taking the entire leg as well. Yeah, they just started off the same place you guys did and are going cross country. I mean, the odds of you winding up with the same people in a room, but
no, I'm talking about not those guys. I meant the cultists.
Talking about the
might have heard that whole thing previously,
okay,
from us. And I wouldn't want to risk it. Like, plus, if we're not, I don't know what we'd get information in the room necessarily. That we know they're getting off in Colorado, and I don't know if they maybe have some paperwork in there that we could find. But I think the best bet might be some of us posting up in the kitchen area and some of us keep an eye on the movement of the people in the room. I should probably switch with someone so they don't see me standing there for like 4 or 5 hours in the hallway area watching their rooms.
Okay, so who's going to stay in the hallway? Nakamura or each? I will go ahead and stand in the hallway for a little while. You look tired. If you want to follow them or what you
just don't want to leave Agent Odysseus on his own. I'll leave you on your own.
Again.
NPC. No, I'm just kidding. He doesn't even know it. He's an NPC. He gonna die.
Who knows, man? He's survived quite a long time for an NPC.
Yeah.
Time to kill him off.
He saved my fucking hide and against some dinosaurs back in the day. So I will. Well, Agent Odysseus, what did you do when you got the text? Did you go to follow to them or to the dining car, or what did you do?
Since Agent Occam is now going to take the watch, I'm going to relieve or make sure that you get rest, and I'm going to go to the observation zone. So I'll tell Agent Okami I'm going to go down to the observation lounge, and since Occam's taken over the watch, I'm just going to get myself something to eat. You want me to bring you anything?
No, I can always get something later.
Okay. Sure you don't want like 4 dozen cheeseburgers or anything?
We'll have to get that a little bit later.
A little bit later, okay.
That might, that amount of food might alert some people to something going on.
Right.
So I will feed discreetly.
Discreetly. Okay. Stay frosty each. All right, he goes down to the observation area.
Okay. As you enter this observation lounge, you see it's a car which is latched between the coach and the dining car. It contains 6 single swivel chairs and 4 double swivel chairs. 2 of the single swivel chairs are occupied by the individuals you are following, and one of the double seats is occupied by a father and his 2 young daughters. You hear the girls talking to their dad, asking them questions and stuff. And as you walk into the main portion of this observation lounge, you could see the roof is glass, the entire roof. And you see the stars and whatnot. You start to see a large moon creeping up. Looks beautiful. And you can hear one of these 2 girls exclaiming to their father, "Wow, Daddy, check out that moon." She's just completely enthusiastic about pointing towards this thing. And the father looks down at the girls and says, "You think that moon is big now, girls? Wait until we pass through Colorado tomorrow night. You're going to see a super blood moon eclipse." And one of the girls says, "Oh, what's that?" "Well, it's when the Earth's moon is in a total lunar eclipse." "What's a total lunar eclipse, Daddy?" And he starts to explain the lunar eclipse when the sun and the Earth and the moon align up and all this other stuff. And he says, In a total lunar eclipse, the entire moon falls within the darkest part of Earth's shadow called the umbra. And when the moon is within that umbra, it turns a reddish color. And she's like, "Oh, Daddy, that's scary." He's like, "No, it's nothing to worry about. It's not scary like the movies. It's nothing sinister about it." "What's sinister, Daddy?" And it just kind of devolves from there. But as you listen to this father and his two daughters at Esso, you can't help but overhear the two men kind of chuckling at this individual's explanation of what this blood lunar eclipse is.
Adesso just pretends that he doesn't really see them and goes to the stairwell to go downstairs to get a snack.
Okay.
He only gives a cursory glance to the two dudes that are somewhat chuckling and doesn't want to draw attention to himself, so he just walks and notes their location, but then goes downstairs to actually grab something to eat.
As you walk by them, go ahead and make an alertness check.
Got it. Oh my God! I rolled a 20, under 25.
Hey.
Holy shit! My very first one out of 7.
You can overhear them saying in a low, thick German accent, "It's really too bad for the other apostles. Yeah, but what a time to be alive. Have you ever seen blood under a blood moon?" Oh. And they just can't contain their giddiness and their excitement. They act like little kids right before Christmas. "Yeah, but I wouldn't worry too much about that. We're going to have quite a bit of a time." And then at that point, you continue to walk by.
Got it. All right. These guys are rank amateurs and truly have drank the Kool-Aid. So I'll just be on my way down to grab a snack.
The red flavor Kool-Aid.
So you get your snack. Tell me what you like to do. Who's in the hallway, by the way? Nakamura, right?
Yeah.
Correct,
Okay.
yeah. All right, so he's going to grab a sandwich and drink, and then he'll walk back up to the lounge area.
And as you're walking back up to the lounge, you get a text from
Uh-huh.
Nakamura. And it says, "Incomplete. It didn't go through."
Okay. He texts Makamura back, just basically saying, Send your last.
And your text says, "Not delivered."
Yeah, we're probably lost reception. All right, so instead of, are the two guys still here in the observation area?
No, they are not.
They're not. Okay. All right, so he'll head back up to the room.
As you make your way down the hallway, you see Nakamura is looking at the hallway and looking down at his phone and keeps fucking with it. And then he sees you and he just puts his phone in his pocket and he starts walking towards you. "Oh, I'm sorry. I was trying to text you. I don't think we have cell phone reception any longer.
Yeah, I
I
agree.
saw them come back into the room. I had to act like I was fidgeting with my zipper."
Oh, well, there we go. All right, cool. Why don't you take a breather, and I'll take the rest of the watch. Go down to the dining car, grab yourself some chow.
Hey! He goes down to the observation lounge, and at this point, the lounge is empty. Goes down to the cart, grabs a snack, and returns back up to the room where each is racked out. As the evening goes on, it makes 2 more stops. People getting off, people getting on. Between the hours of 12 a.m. and 5 a.m. Monday morning of day 3, the Zephyr makes another 5 stops. At its 6th stop, at 7:15, it pulls into Denver, Colorado's Union Station. You hear the engineer come over the intercom. "Good morning and welcome to Denver, Colorado's Union Station. This is one of our build stops and we'll be here for just under an hour. as we add a few private cars that will be added to the main train. Please feel free to stretch your legs, and for our travelers who have procured a private car, you'll want to transfer your personal effects over at this time. Thank you. At this point, you see the doors open on rooms 6 and 7. And you see the men start to leave the train with the box.
Do we have cell phone reception?
You do.
I'll call Agent Okami and tell him, because they should both be in the room, and say, target's on the move and has deboarded the train. And then hang up.
What is that?
Ichi will grab his few belongings and be on his way. He's been up for a while.
As you guys exit the train, you see 4 men walk along the platform towards one of the new cars that has been added to the train. They show some credentials and some tickets, and they enter the private car.
Okay, didn't see that coming.
And that's on this current train, right?
That is correct.
Okay.
All right, so why don't we just post up and see if they leave?
That's fine. We can have someone watch on one side and
watch
on the other, and while one of us maybe goes and sees well, I guess we can't just get into a private car. We could always have one of us go ask and see if we can gain access. We would like to upgrade to a private car. Is that a full car, Ryder?
It's a little smaller than this, but it's a private car.
Okay.
Like, it doesn't have multiple roomettes, doesn't have multiple tables or coach chairs. It's set up like a small apartment.
Like a suite.
Yes.
Okay.
With amenities. So
with what?
Amenities.
Amenities?
Amenities.
Amenities. I think he was one of those Greek philosophers.
It's set up.
That was Archimedes.
Oh, right.
It's set up with all kinds of room service as well.
Oh, okay. Is it 2 level?
You can't tell from outside. It would be a good bet to say that it's not.
Okay.
That it's just it retains the form structure of what a 2-level car would look like, but it's probably not 2 levels within.
Okay.
Okay, Adesso looks around and he's trying to spot any Delta Green agents that should be waiting to help them out. And is there anybody?
There is not.
He whips out the phone and tells each, I'm going to call Heisenberg. I was hoping that there would be a welcoming committee here for us. And he calls Heisenberg.
Go ahead, Paulie.
New development. We've stopped here in Denver. The train's added a couple of private cars, and our friends have gotten on the private car, and they took their belongings with them, and they're currently on the private car, and they don't look like they're leaving. I was also hoping there would be some relatives here to greet us, bearing gifts, and there's no one here.
No, I wasn't going to send somebody just yet until we made sure that they exited the train permanently. Like I had mentioned before, Deso, I can't keep sending people in the field. I have very limited resources that I could use at my disposal. And as far as the extent of my influence on other law enforcements, I've got to be very judicial about when I do send the locals out that way.
Understood. So our regular orders remain. It doesn't look like they're getting off the train. And outside a game, how much time before the train leaves? My guess is it should be minutes.
It's probably another 15 minutes at the most.
Gotcha. The train will probably leave this stop at about the next 15 minutes. So unless anything changes, I'll let you know. But what I really would like is some heavier armament. Catch my drift.
What time? You're saying the train leaves in 15 minutes? There's no way, even if I wanted to, that I could get something to you that fast.
No, there'll be another stop. There'll be another stop at... Whips open the map. Where's the next stop?
The next stop is at. Hang on a second, I gotta figure this out.
Do we really need heavier? I mean, you already got something that does a D12, right?
Yeah, but what I'm really worried about is I'm thinking stealth, and I'm thinking if we're going to interrupt a ceremony, I'd like to, and I believe we're going to be outnumbered. I would like to have some kind of equalizer, maybe an MP5, something with a rifle with a sight on it, so I could take out the. I'm thinking Deacon Gray's going to be the one presiding over this ceremony, and I presume there's going to be a ceremony. It just makes sense that there would be. So the best way to interrupt it would be from a distance. So any armament they can give us better than pistols is welcome.
The next stop will be Granby Station at 10:37.
Okay. And the next stop's going to be Granby Station at 10:37. If you have it, I would love an AR style rifle with a scope, or maybe even a couple of submachine guns, something that we can.
All right, Odessa. I'll do my best. I will do my best.
Got it.
Okay.
Odesso out.
No, I say out. You don't hang up on me. Damn it, Odesso. Know your fucking place. So people start boarding the train once again, and it starts to pull away.
We get on. Yeah. And they don't get off, correct?
They don't get off. They stay on their private car.
Oh, the better question would have been, does anybody else get into that private car?
Make an alertness check.
Your favorite. Can I have each make the alertness check?
Well, each wasn't smart enough to ask the question.
I'm not
27.
Under?
Shit.
Or over?
Well, I got under 25. I got a 27.
Okay. You haven't noticed whether or not anybody else had joined those men in the car, or whether or not they were already in the car before they got on.
There are more people in the car than the 4?
You don't know? No. Not with the 27.
Not with the 27.
Well, I think once this thing gets rolling, we're going to have to figure out how to at least gain entrance to a private car. Because how does that, well, once we get rolling, we can do that. Like if we know they're in the private car, then we don't really need to worry about it. It's not like they're going to be going, unless they're coming out from the private car to the car where all the muggles are, where we are. So we can watch from our room from there, or from the observation deck and stuff like that.
So at 8:05, the California Zephyr pulls out of Denver Union Station and begins to move along the tracks, starting the long climb out of the Great Plains, and starts moving into the Rocky Mountains. At 10:37 a.m., the train begins to pull into Granby Station, slows down, and comes to a full stop. You have a 10-minute layover here, as people want to get out, stretch their legs. People get off, people get on. I'd like for you to roll a d20 for me, Odesso. Give me that luck roll.
Got it.
A 1.
A 1.
A 1.
A 1.
A 1, a 1. I want to play that. Sorry.
It's an each.
Well, how come, well done. How come only Odesso? I mean, I was going to say, as you said, that we got the 10 minutes, that we would probably all exit, all take sort of different visual locations to keep an eye on.
I like that. That's good.
Well, that I was going to, but you just rolled right
we've
into
been doing that.
Yeah.
Okay. Each make your luck roll as well.
All right. 19.
19.
I'm doing worse now. What's one less?
Nakamura got an 8. Agent Odesso, you and Nakamura are unable to detect anything unusual. Each, you see an individual sitting on one of the benches on the platform right before you go into the customary tourist store. Sitting there with a briefcase on his lap, playing on his phone. But you notice that at his lapel, you see a small green triangle.
Okay. I will let Odessa know that we have a friend. I will walk over and let Odessa know, and then I will hang back with Nakamura. I don't want us all to go over there and draw attention to it.
Yeah. Odessa, with his one failure, is like, got any gum?
I stole it from Joey.
All right, so Odessa will approach the gentleman wearing the green Delta. Say, good afternoon. Or morning, actually. It's morning.
He kind of looks up from his phone briefly. Good morning.
I was hoping a friend of mine had given you a package to deliver.
I'm sorry. I don't think I know you.
I'm hoping we have a mutual friend, gentleman by the name of Heisenberg.
He looks around. Are you like a rookie at this? Do you normally come right out of the gate like that?
We got 10 minutes.
Maybe.
Sorry, it's been a long day. It's been a long week.
He kind of interrupts you and says, "Oh shit, I forgot something in the restroom." And he gets up and leaves the briefcase on the bench. Only he doesn't go back into the tourist shop. He just continues walking down the platform, makes a left around the building, and you never see him again. You currently have about 90 seconds to get back on the train.
Paulie grabs the briefcase, chides himself for being a brick, and walks swiftly towards the train.
Very good. You find yourselves back on the train once again as it pulls out of Granby Station.
Okay, I'd like to head up to our room and take a look at our present.
Okay, you're heading up to the room. Each, what are you doing?
I'd like to see what there is access to for these private cars. Like, if I walk down the center aisle of our car and finally get to the private car, is that just a door that won't open for me? Is there a window that looks in?
As you go down, you have to go down to the lower level to gain access to the door that would start moving you from car to car towards the rear.
I assumed I was still on the ground level because we were out looking at the station.
Oh, I thought you went up to the room as well. Okay, so if you go down to the ground level and you start moving, you're able to go 3 cars back, which are the cars that were typically part of the train that you originally were part of and still are.
So it's back behind us
Yes,
instead of forward. Okay.
Yeah, they added it towards the rear of the train.
Got it.
When you get to the door that would allow access to the private cars, the door does not open.
Okay.
As you're walking back towards your room, you see a young man, probably in his mid to late 30s, and he's walking with one of the conductors. And he's just in freak mode right now. And the conductor's trying to calm him down. He says, "Sir, perhaps she's just playing hide and seek, sir. She doesn't do that. She knows better than that. She would know not to do that." And the conductor's trying to calm him down. And it's like, where was she at last? She was with her sister and her mother, and now I can't find her. And they start moving more forward along the train, frantically knocking on people's doors, asking, "Hey, have you seen a little girl with ponytails? She's about 8 years old." And they're doing this, and it's very frantic. You almost get this sense of desperation at this point. And they start making their way, and then they make their way to the next car and out of your sight each.
Okay. I'll kind of keep following, just seeing where they're going, that sort of thing. I don't want to interrupt what's going on at the moment.
Okay. You pass through the next door into the next car. Agent Adesso, with shaking hands of anticipation, you lay this briefcase on one of the bunks and you
Open the case.
Open the case. To your surprise, I'd like for you to roll a d6.
Six.
You see inside a breakdown model of a .50 caliber Browning Barrett.
Holy shit. Okay.
It's got a base range of 250 meters. You have to have a firearms skill. Ammo capacity 10. Armor piercing 5. Damage is NA. Because it has a lethality of 20%. Now, what I did was I took the 4 weaker ones off this chart of firearms. And there's 10 of them on the chart. So I started 1 at shotgun firing shot and then just worked my way up. That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And number 6 is very heavy rifle.
Oh shit! Can Polly look at the ammunition in the magazines and tell if they're Balfus rounds? And a Balfus rounds is armor piercing incendiary. There are armor piercing tips with phosphorus rounds. Some of them even are explosive. It's
Tony, put your clothes back on. Jesus,
I know,
dude.
this is very exciting.
This is a Zoom meeting here, not a fucking.
Well, they are armor piercing rounds. Now, whether or not they are incendiary rounds,
Right.
I'm going to ask you to roll a percentile.
Gotcha.
And you're
I'm
going
sorry,
to
they're
want
not
to get
Balfus. They're supposed to be called Raufoss. Raufoss. Raufoss
Okay.
rounds. Yeah. Okay.
And if
want me to
you
roll-
get 20% and under, that'll be the round.
Okay.
Yeah, so roll your alertness, basically.
Yeah, really. 89. So no,
So they are not.
they are not. They're just garden variety 50
Lame.
calibers.
You only get one Christmas present.
There we go.
I don't
Does
think
it
you
have
get
a
7.
scope? It's got to have a scope. The thing
course it's
has an
got a
effective
scope.
range of nearly a mile.
It's going to take a few minutes to assemble this thing. And Makamura just sits there and watches you put this thing together. Agent Each, you make your way through to the next car. And again, you see the conductor and this father who's got these dark rings under his eyes. And they're knocking on the doors. And then they get to the end of the car after asking everybody again and again.
I will text the group, once again going off on a limb. Conductor and passenger are searching for passenger's lost daughter.
Make a
I
luck
think we
roll
found
for
the-
me.
I think we found the female vessel we're looking, or they found the female vessel they're looking for.
No, they're not looking for a female vessel. We're looking for a female vessel. Female vessel takes it to kills it, destroys the blood.
Right fucking there, dude.
What do you got?
A 20.
A hard 20.
Another
Damn.
fucking 20. I swear. Ooh.
The text goes through.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. We have the fucking shit. Okay. Well, I completely, I thought that was just for that area. Well, okay, great. The text goes through. I had actually said, conductor and man looking for daughter. We're getting closer to the end of the ceremony. I think a female vessel has been found.
But the female vessel is for us. That's we kill the blood. They're not looking for a female.
They're looking probably for a female, for something to, I don't know. I that's just what popped into my head. So
Sounds good. We'll roll with it.
yeah,
Maybe they just
So
need
I-
the blood of innocence or something. You
I'll
know, the
keep,
blood to open it up.
I'll keep on following them at a good distance. So, and if they notice me, I'll act accordingly then.
Okay. Make a stealth roll.
Okay. Stealth is 52. Nope, 67.
As you're following along at a distance, the father looks up and sees you, but doesn't really take notice of anything abnormal. He's just frantically looking the hallway. Turns back towards the conductor. And even though this individual may be a complete stranger to him, in his time of sorrow, he just reaches out and grabs the conductor and hugs him and just starts crying into his shoulder.
I'll approach then. And pardon me. Is there any way I can help? I heard what's happening. I have a child myself. How can I help you guys?
Yeah, I'm afraid, Mr.
Archer.
I'm afraid Mr. Archer has misplaced. I didn't misplace my daughter. We can't find Mr. Archer's daughter. I'm sorry to say. We think that. I mean, it's possible she could have got off the train. I know she didn't get off the train. We got calls back to the Union Station. We've already notified the authorities. We're confident she will be found on the train. We just want to keep looking.
So what about these cars here? I tried looking in one just a minute ago, but I couldn't seem to get in. I guess those are special cars for rock stars or something, but I don't remember them being here when we took off. Are these new?
Well, our guests have the opportunity of renting out private cars. They usually procure them either back at Penn Station or at Chicago Union Station. We don't really take reservations while we're already on the move, but people like to rent them out so that they can see the Rocky Mountains and whatnot, and enjoy the sights and be basically sequestered from everybody else.
Well, Mr. Archer, I can sympathize as a parent. Do you want me to help out? Do you want me to look around for you? I can go with you in here. I could go check some of the other cars. Who's at your room? Do you have a wife? Is she there waiting? Because maybe the kids can go to your room.
Yeah, she's at the room with my other daughter. I don't know. I don't know what to do. And he seems to be almost like a record spinning in a circle. He's aimless. He doesn't have a direction to go in. He's untethered at this point. Mechanically, he is below his breaking point.
Okay. What's the conductor's name?
Archer.
No, wasn't that their brothers?
Lewis.
Lewis, what's protocol here?
Well, we've radioed ahead to the next stop to let them know that we'll be along. But there's really nothing else we can do. I mean, they count on us to search the train thoroughly. We're to keep everything here. The authorities will go to Granby Station and they'll start searching down there. And that's really all we can do. I'd like to think that we could do more for him and his family, but there's really only so much we can do.
Well, what about these private cars here? Have you searched them yet?
Not yet, but when the train comes to its next stop, that will be our next visage. We really can't stop in the middle of the Rocky Mountains. We just can't.
No, I'm not saying stop the train. I'm saying just, have you checked the private cars? Have you gone in there? I mean, maybe she's in there.
I'm going to get with the engineer and see if that's something we can consider doing. But thank you for your concern, Mr.
Agent.
No,
this is when you should badge him. This is when you should badge him.
Well, I could badge him. So, okay, let me talk to outside the game. I don't want to badge him because then everyone will know that I'm an agent. That may get to the people in the private car. If I go in there and they're like, oh, well, the agent asked to come in. I don't want them to know. They may know already, but they may not. So,
right. No, that's smart.
What do you think out of game?
Out of game, I think that girl is in that private car, and this is an excellent opportunity for us to get into the car. The question is how we can do so in a subtlety without letting anybody know that we're after them. You know what I mean? But this is an excellent cover story, too. Yeah, we're looking for the little girl. Sorry to bundle into your car. Our mistake. We'll leave. But you're right. If we badge them, they'll use that as cover for disturbing somebody because they're not supposed to. So they say, yeah, the FBI is here to help find the lost girl. Yeah, that would spread quite quickly. So I think you're right not badging him.
Well, from what I remember from what the old lady said, having the girl is something that would benefit in the destruction of this god. But I don't know. We may not know the whole story. Maybe the blood needs to go into some female vessel, and then when she dies, it would be born again for all I know. I mean, she said it would die. I don't know. But the coincidence of a missing girl and then also of the using of a girl in a ceremony that we know nothing about really, kind of red flagged me.
All right, yeah, you're right. Don't badge him. Just tell him, yeah, it's Mr. Okami. We'll be around.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you for your concern, Mister.
Absolutely, Okami, Albert Okami. You can call me Al.
Thank you, Al.
I got to put that on my notes.
At best, right now, we're asking all passengers that we come across to please return to their quarters until we have more information. So, if you would please return to your quarters, that would be great.
Absolutely. I'll be staying in room 21 of the, what do you call those with the little roomette cars?
We call them roomettes, sir.
Well, I'll be staying in room 21 of the roomette with a few of my colleagues from school. Let us know if you need any help. You know, we all have our fathers and have children, and we want to help out Mr. Archer as much as possible.
Well, thank you.
Where's Archer right now?
He's with him.
Okay.
Like he's just kind of loitering in the hallway, waiting for the conductor to come and reclaim him and take him either back to his car or.
Okay, I'll take my little notepad out of my pocket. I will write down my name, Al Okami, with my phone number and say, "Hey, I'm here to help you. We'll find your girl. Don't you worry." And I'll tuck that in his pocket.
Into Archer's pocket?
Yeah.
Okay. So as you start making your way back to your room, you're looking out these observation windows that are scattered throughout the whole train. You see these hopper cars filled with sand that have been placed alongside the line, basically to assist as a windbreak. And all the while, the California Zephyr continues to climb, snaking through the beautiful canyons alongside the river or entering tunnels that bathe the car in darkness for minutes at a time. Eventually, you find yourself back in front of room 21.
All right. I will send a text coming in and just see if it goes through, now that I do remember that texts are misfiring here.
Make your luck roll.
15?
It goes through.
Okay. So I'll wait till I get I won't wait till I get a text back. I'll go into the room, marvel at the size of Adesso's elephant gun and also his new weapon he procured. And and I will inform him about Mr. Archer, his missing daughter with little pigtails, and that my efforts to enter the private cars were stymied, and even under the pretense of searching for the lost girl, the conductor said that they won't be able to do that until the car stops at the next stop.
And Adesso, you can recollect that from the previous evening that there was a father and two daughters in the observation lounge. And one of those girls seems very reminiscent of each's description of this missing girl.
Got it. Okay.
Well, you got the text of it too, so what are your thoughts on that?
Well, we've got to find a way into that car. If nothing else, we can figure out. What's going through my mind now is, are they going to perform the ceremony on the train? There's really no reason not to. There's nothing that says they have to get off the train in order to do the ceremony. So maybe everyone they need is already in place and they're just simply waiting for nightfall. In which case, the only way we're going to be able to disrupt the ceremony is to be in that car. What are our next stops? Let's consult the map.
Should find out if the private cars have exposed roof too to the moon.
Yeah, like the observation car does. That would be interesting.
According to the map, the next stop is Glenwood Springs.
And how many after that? Are we still in Colorado when we stop?
You're still in Colorado. Glenwood Springs is in Colorado as well. Beyond that, there are, I think, another 12 stops before you eventually get to Emeryville.
Got it. How many stops before we leave Colorado?
2 more.
And will we leave Colorado before nightfall?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you'll leave Colorado well before nightfall.
Okay, so either they're going to do us under the blood moon. So we know they're going to have to get off the train now. It's being since the train leaves Colorado before it turns night. Well, let's just be on standby.
Well, we're following the box.
Polly will break down his rifle. It looks like we're gonna need it later, but not now.
So after about 2 hours of your ascent through these mountains, you begin to notice that something feels off. The train seems to be slowing down.
Slowing down like it's going uphill or something, or?
Well, it's had no problems at this point going up the hill, but for some reason it is slowing down.
Okay.
You hear the engineer come over the intercom. Ladies and gentlemen, we're sorry for the imminent delay. It would appear that one of the hopper cars has toppled over onto the tracks. We have a service crew en route to help clear the tracks. I'm afraid you're all going to have to be patient. We're going to be stuck here for a little while. I will open up the dining cars and the restrooms during this time. Thank you for your understanding. The train eventually comes to a full stop on the mountain.
Adesso turns to Okami and Akam and says, "How much you want to bet this stop is going to take us overnight?"
Well, we'll find that out next session.
I've been kind of itching to take that box. I know Odesso's been ready since.
If you can take the box, I'd be okay with it. But you got to justify how you do it. Because if you guys wind up firing up a bunch of people, I mean, the train's doing 110 miles an hour. You can't just say, I'd like to get off right here. You know, even if you got off at the next station.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, right? We go in, we would surveil the room, wait for two guys to leave, leaving only two inside. They ain't gonna bring the box with them. We go in, take the two boxes, overwhelming force, kick the door open, take the two guys out, close it up, wait for the two guys to come back, take them out, lock them in the room, take the box, and get off at the next station. Done. Wouldn't have to clean anybody. Although the issue is, since there'd be 4 murders on a train, everything would be going over and analyzed to try to figure out how and why it happened. And that CCTV stuff and other surveillance would compromise us. So that's probably not the best in big picture. Yeah, we'd get the immediate box, I think. I think we'd be able to do it. But
well, it's like in D&D. Okay, you know, on the other side of this door, there's 4 orcs and a whatever dark elf. You front kick the door, you pull out your swords, you roll for initiative, and you start taking damage, you start giving damage, and everybody's taking up to 20-something hit points. You may only have like 9 or 10 hit points to your body. Mm-hmm. You know, and if somebody scores a crit and does double damage, you know.
Oh yeah, and it's easy for one of them to get out and run and start pounding on doors and, you know, alert the whole thing, because
what if one of them has an improvised explosive device?
Yeah.
With the lethality of 10, what is it? What's the lethality on a grenade? I think it's like 15% or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
within
know?
30 feet. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it could blow up the whole back half of the train, but these guys, they're okay with dying. That's the problem. You could go in and kill them. That's probably their end game anyways, because they know they're going to die. But
no, that's why I like the idea if we had a little bit more reinforcement of, like at the beginning.
You like me?
The
spell
mission
it out
is
a little
to
bit better.
take out Deacon Gray.
It says it in the first episode though.
And to procure the box, you know, and wait till because that's what I've been saying, like follow the box wherever it goes. Like we're trying to find out where it's going to, not necessarily just take the fucking ball and go home. Like there's that's part of it. But the other part is I like, following it to the end. And then that would, for the next player, right? Because they may not be thinking, they may go, oh, we could just fucking gank the box while it's going here and all that. But we got to remember that we're trying to be secret about this with less casualties possible. Like because that's in my head to kind of, like I was always saying, like, try to keep things mellow, try to keep things as much as possible, and then only do something like with that conductor or maybe the Sheriff Oakley. It's a little sketchy in my opinion still. But yeah, like that's why I've been trying to say, like, yeah, well, Heisenberg keeps saying to follow the box. So let's keep following it. Like we could jump at any time, but we would risk ourselves, all these other people. And I think our agents are still have enough heart that they care about people. Hence Ichi worrying about the old lady or worrying about the juicy fruit driver, like.
Well, he's probably also wanting you to see how close to the ceremony can be done because they don't know how to do it. Like Heisenberg and the team don't know how to do it. So if you could see how it's done, but stop it just before it's complete, or even at a certain point of that, then they would know, okay, we now know how to utilize this thing, or we know what not to do to it. It's like information, like learning how to open up the Ark of the Covenant without looking at it. We found out 15 different ways not to, but now we know how to do it. It's one of those things, you playing around with poisonous snakes and shit. You don't grab it by the tail. You don't grab it by the midsection. Oh, you grab it behind the head. Oh, okay. Well, how'd you figure that out?
Yeah.
You got a bunch of dead bodies on the fucking ground. That's how.
I tried 3 times.
Trial and error. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if we can follow it to the end and we have a deso and everybody aiming for 3 rounds at Deacon Gray, and as soon as he's about to say, and that's and then,
Yeah, we'd like some heavy armament. I'd love a rifle with a scope,
Well, unfortunately, you don't have a green box on board the Amtrak California Zephyr. Let's get back in game.
We'll check their trash cans real quick.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. So back in game, it's like.
Thank you for joining us once again on Roll the Hard 20 podcast. Remember, you can find us and subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Pandora Radio, iHeart Radio, Amazon Podcasts, and Audible. And if you like what you're listening to, be sure to leave us that 5-star rating and review. Don't forget about our YouTube channel at Roll the Hard 20. So if you're into watching and you want to help support the show, then head on over and hit that subscribe button. It really does help the show out. We can also be found in the wild on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, so don't forget to look for us there and check us out. You can also contact the show directly at rollthehard20podcast@gmail.com, or head on over to the website at rollthehard20podcast.com, where you can download the current show directly, pick and choose past shows from our archives, or view our galleries. We've got a lot of stuff posted over there, so check us out. And finally, join us on our Patreon at patreon.com/rollthehard20podcast, where you can become a hard slinger and pick up swag. So until next time, keep your dice warm and your glass topped off as you roll those hard 20s.